All right, teammates, we are back once again. If this is your first time listening to the Move Swiftly podcast, welcome to the show. Welcome to the #1 show on innovative teamwork. To my regular listeners, you already know what this show is all about. You already know how I get down. I bring you nothing but the best. Say it again, bring you nothing but the best. People who hold you to a higher standard, and they have their goal, the kind of the foundation to their life work is about helping you get better and giving you some sort of advice, giving you something to help you along your day. And you know me, my background's in the fitness industry, and I almost feel like it's the first time we're having a conversation. I almost feel like I know the guy for years because of how and how similar, our backgrounds are. So with all that, Mr. Roman Fischer, welcome to the Move Swiftly podcast.
How's it going? How's it going? Thanks for having me here.
It's my pleasure. And like I said, you're in fitness. I've been involved with fitness for years now. I think it's just going to be us catching up, man, or just getting to know each other because, one of the things that I've never gotten certified. The only thing that drove me to get into this business was having a sports background, being a part of a team, seeing folks get better, things of that nature. So, I think the best place to start off is just you kind of giving us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and what got you to the lifestyle in which, again, if you check out his website, guys, you'll see he's all about it day in and day out, shows the results. What got you into this lifestyle? How did you? I know it comes from somewhere. It doesn't just happen overnight. So, the floor is yours, man.
Definitely. Just like results, yeah, they don't happen overnight one bit at all. So I'm actually from most of my life from Arkansas. And so I've lived in different states, Florida, Arizona. I've also lived in Ohio. But yeah, most of my life anyway, I've been living in Arkansas. And so what's really neat, it's crazy actually, because I wasn't always into fitness. I was not always into fitness, into working out, weightlifting, cardio, none of that. And
Mm-hmm.
in fact, I didn't even really care about fitness as, earlier on in my life. And I would never really be too conscious or aware of what I was putting in my body. And I
Mm-hmm.
hate to say, but I really didn't care too much about what I was eating or drinking. As long as it was food or it looked, good, smelled good, I would have it, I would eat
Also
it, I would
edible,
drink
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Edible and affordable. Yep, I know that's it.
exactly.
Edible and affordable. All right, cool. Let's rock.
Oh yeah. And then I realized I'm like, yes, this isn't the best thing to have for me after I did some research and then just even the smallest amount of research on what I was eating, what I was drinking, and I was seeing the ingredients listed. And it's crazy because I was like, man, I can't even pronounce a half of these. For example, on a loaf of bread, even just seeing those ingredients, it's crazy because you can't even pronounce a half of them. And then if you can't pronounce it, my rule is if you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't be eating it. If you can't say it with your mouth, you probably shouldn't be putting it in your mouth. So I realized I'm like, man, I don't want to eat this. I don't want to have this. And then I saw all the negative effects that you can have from a lot of these additives, preservatives, and ingredients that they pump into our foods and drinks, just like no one's business. And I realized, man, all these things like the artificial dyes and colors that they put into foods and drinks, they can cause ADHD, they can cause all these other mental, disorders and problems. And I'm like, hey, I can't have this because that was something I was actually getting. I was getting those symptoms of that at a younger age of ADHD, OCD. And so, with that being said, I started cutting that out of my life. And then I've noticed, obviously not overnight, but over time, I wouldn't have those symptoms anymore. And I just felt better. I had more energy. I just had more mental clarity. And then when I started picking up the weights, because my brother, funny enough, my younger brother got me into weightlifting because
Mhm.
he was inspired through the Rocky movies of the workout scenes. And so he started picking up the weights
Those are
himself.
legendary. Those are
Yeah,
absolutely legendary.
always. And so seeing him pick up the weights and making those changes with his body, with his physique,
Mhm.
because him and I were both skinny kids growing up in school. So
Mhm.
seeing him pick up those weights for himself and weightlift and make those changes, I saw the energy increase, the endurance increase just with his workouts. But then over the course of, it takes time. So over the course of a few months, he made those changes, but I saw those changes on his body with more muscle, more strength. And then, of course, as a result and as a byproduct, more confidence. And when he had all those things line up just that certain way for him, I'm like, hey, I gotta have some of that too. I can't have my younger brother, outlift me here. So
Absolutely not. At some point, the
yeah,
male ego starts to kick in, and we say, "Hold up, now, okay,
yeah.
my
I'm
younger
like,
brother's doing his thing. I got to get it done too." Yep, I know exactly
definitely.
what
And then
you
I jumped right into it. And over time, obviously, I didn't see results right away either. No results are overnight anyway, at least not ones that are worth it. And then I started making those changes with my body. I started seeing more strength, more muscle, more definition. And then with that too, I just slept better. I started feeling better. And then eventually, with healthier eating and my workouts, I started getting that six pack that I was wanting. So
Mhm.
just seeing those changes, that definition and that muscle growth and that just that muscle gain, it really did increase my confidence tenfold. And it made it easier to sleep. It made it easier to focus and do what I needed to do just in my everyday life. So that's what actually got me into fitness from my workouts with my younger brother to the
Mhm.
healthier eating with all the research I did and all the investigating I did and what is in our foods, what's in our drinks, because it's crazy what they put in.
Right. Now, when did it become something that turned into a career for you? Because one of the things I've noticed in fitness is there's several people that are able to just do it part-time. They'll do it on the side, they'll train people here and there. But I've actually spoken to people who like would kill to just get in the industry where they can just train people full-time. How difficult, or what was that process like getting certified? And I mean, there's people who are not certified and they still train people. It's an absolutely
Yeah.
saturated market. So
Yeah,
I'm always curious as to how someone is able to, move and maneuver around such a saturated market.
definitely. So I actually, and again, just like you said, not that you have to be certified, but I just happened to get certified through NASM. I got my certification through them.
Mhm.
And so it gave me that, extra experience and background within that, realm for fitness. Of course, a lot of my experience and knowledge and skills were from personal experience and just
Right,
working out
right.
over the years. But getting that extra knowledge, it helped. So I used that to train at a gym for a good while. But after that, I realized that there was a ceiling that they had for you, and they would take a lot of, what you would make. So I'm like, okay, it's cool to get this little bit of initial experience, but then
Mhm.
I wanted to start changing people's lives, not just in a gym, but really remotely if possible, to
Mhm.
make it easier on the client and myself, and really just be more flexible. That way I can train people in different states, different cities, different countries potentially. So
Right.
that made it really inspiring for me just thinking about it like that. And then honestly, too, it was crazy because I started the online aspect of training during COVID, SmackDown during COVID,
Oh
and
man,
I didn't
that's almost like
think,
a That's almost like the perfect time to start, actually.
yeah, and some people thought it was questionable, but I'm like, well, if you're a brick and mortar business, probably so. But if you're just trying to do this online remotely, it's probably the best time to do it because a lot of people are usually at home right now, quarantining. They're in quarantine and they're trying to find things to do, especially with all the gyms shut down or pretty much every gym shut down. They're
Right.
trying to think of ways to get fit even from home. And
Mhm.
so that made it so easy. And just the perfect time to jump right into that. And so that's what I started to do. And I just started training people that I knew in my inner circle, my sphere of influence, as I call it. And then from there, I branched out and I just wanted to help one body at a time from people in different states, different cities. And yeah, eventually I even trained someone from a different country. I'm like, man, this is crazy, but this is awesome.
So
And so seeing that change with these people has been very rewarding.
here's the question I have though, because I've worked for a total of six different gyms. All of them are currently out of business. All of them are they're permanently closed. You look them up online, they're permanently closed. Have tons of friends in the industry and people who are, like I said, left it, come back, all that kind of stuff. And the one common denominator is there are people who say they're gonna sign up. There's people who say they're gonna do this. They said they're gonna sign. They are going, like I call them the New Year's resolution folks. They sign up in
Yeah.
January. By the mid-February, they're all gone. How are you able to get clients, or at least can you speak on the people that who actually achieve their results, what their mindset is, and maybe you might be helping some fitness individuals out there who get turned off by that aspect of the business, where they get into the business, they see they're not making their money, they're not getting clients, and it's not because they're bad trainers, it's just because the mindset of the majority of people out there is, hey, I'm not really going to work out like that, or even the mindset you had when you were growing up. How are you able to land it to where you're getting people regularly come in the clientele, and what does their mindset look like? That way, you're attracting the right client to yourself.
Right. Definitely. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different, techniques that you can actually go about doing that. What I found to be is honestly, you have to almost study their, their profile. You have to study their personality from online. Doing that, the psychology behind it's crazy, but literally pouring yourself into it, taking a step back from just fitness, because obviously that's what we do, but taking even just a few steps back from fitness and health and just seeing it from a psychological standpoint and
Mhm.
trying to analyze their personality as a person and trying to just pinpoint that and hone in on that. When you can finally do that, then you can see what type of person and eventually what type of client they could be.
Mm.
So there's headache clients and there's also clients that stick with it. So finding those people that seem more consistent throughout all their pictures or videos, just their
Yeah.
personality. If they seem someone that's more of a go-getter, then I would definitely, hone in on those type of people and
Right.
try to help those people out. That's
Mm.
one way of doing it. Also, I found when you have an ad budget, but targeting those people that are guys or girls. But I found personally, I'll be honest,
Mhm.
nothing against some guys, but literally middle-aged women tend to be very, very consistent with their fitness goals and their
Well,
fitness routine.
and the thing is, I've experienced it. I've seen the same numbers, and I had a client one time tell me directly it's because so, and she wasn't just talking for herself, but she was also talking for her friends. But so many mothers out there who struggle to get their bodies back. So
Yeah.
their motivation, their result is okay, keeping their husbands engaged or keeping staying healthy for their families. And their motivation isn't like mine, I want to run a marathon. Their motivation isn't go win your age group in a 5K or win a game or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Vision is they're actually coming from a place where, hey, I need to be a better, I need to be around for my family members. I need to be the one being able to just cook. I need to be strong enough to actually pick up groceries in the store, things like that. So, I found that too to be the same thing too.
100%. Just really dialing in on that, demographic, that age group, that gender, that's literally the best ideal client that I found. And a lot of people like yourself and other people that have been in the business and are in the business have said the same exact thing as well. So
Yeah.
doing that, and then also I found too that when you do have these clients sign up,
Mhm.
that over delivering is a really great thing to do because when you really
Yeah,
pour
keep saying
yourself
I want to
out.
get over delivering, folks. All right, this is a lesson that's going to span upon all your businesses, regardless of what you do for a living. You want to be in business for yourself. You want to get clients. You better over deliver. All right, please, just take the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Definitely.
I love the
Over deliver.
yes.
100%. Like, yeah, you were just saying over deliver because really it's crazy because, yeah, you're the boss, but really the main real boss is the customer. So you
Yeah.
got to make sure that the customer's happy. Not to sound cliche, but you really do got to make sure that the customer is happy. And, the customer is maybe not always right, but they're almost always right. If you know what I'm saying, you got to make sure that they're happy, that they're taken care of and that they're satisfied and that they see and deem whatever they're doing as worth it. And that's the one perfect way. Because when you over deliver, you can almost bet your life that they're going to stick with you long term. So
Right.
making sure that you're with them on everything. And what I've done too, personally, just a little cheat code, and I've learned this too, because if you also want to grow your business and you're a fitness trainer, let's say, having a business mentor can help too, because I've actually done that and so literally over delivering is key. And literally going in and maybe going on Amazon. And if you know about where they usually stay, where they live, you can literally just Amazon them a small gift,
Mm.
as a reward for being great with their fitness goals and being consistent. So that's a little cheat code, but yeah, all those things just basically over delivering
Mhm.
to your clients in general is one of the best things. Being there for them too. I got to stress this
Yes.
being there for your clients 24/7. Obviously, it doesn't mean you shouldn't sleep. Definitely get your sleep, but be there for your clients throughout the day. And anytime they have a question, be there to answer it as soon as you can. Be
Right.
there to answer it, whether it's a phone call, a text, email, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And then just make sure that you're there, just literally with them along the way.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is with fitness coaching. You
Mhm.
got to be their mentor. You got to be by their side because it's a journey and
Yeah.
if they're new to fitness, it's all the more, important to be
Right.
there with them.
Right. And there's actually, when I was at LA Fitness, one of the trainers would tell me, again, I like you, I had a lot of mentors in the business. He would tell me half the job is me being a therapist for him. Like the job is
Yes.
me
I
actually
swear though. Yeah.
getting them through certain situations, whatever they're going through mentally. Like sometimes they don't even see the actual results physically, just mentally what they're able to do is, completely different. And that means you as a trainer, you have to develop your whole self. You have to not just develop yourself from a body standpoint. Obviously, you have to look good, but you really actually have to be able to take in a lot of their personal stories. So, with that being said, what are some of the things that you do to prepare yourself? Because you're not just helping one client, you may be helping another client who just dealt with a divorce. I mean, I have had, I worked at a 9 round. So these were the Orange Theory and a 9 round. All right. These were women fresh off divorces. I mean, angry, bitter.
Oh yeah.
It's something. I mean, there was one that was power couple, and she found out like while they were training that her husband was cheating, and she's
Oh
bawling
wow.
out right after the workout.
Yeah.
Whole thing is a mess. And again, we as the trainers, we just say, here's the bag. Go ahead.
Yep.
On the bag and punch the shit out of that guy. So that was, some of the things that we had to do sometimes. So what are some of the tactics you do to keep yourself prepared for the avalanche and the things that you're gonna actually have to go through?
Yeah, for sure. So what I do a lot of breath work, I do a lot of
Yes.
mental preparation beforehand, and I always expect I don't necessarily expect worst case scenario, but I always expect that something bad could happen. So I always prepare myself for that. I don't expect it to happen or want it to happen or
Mhm.
look forward to that, of course, but I always begin with what could be the worst possible, scenario and
Right.
just make sure to prime myself for that. Be ready for anything that they have to say and be ready for anything that I can do to help them with before because I do a lot of coaching calls with my clients one
Oh,
to
okay,
two
good,
times a
good.
week.
So it's
And I
not even
always
physical fitness. Oh, there you go. See that, hey, listeners, man, we getting some exclusive stuff right now. That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, that is cool.
yeah, and that's what I do. And I just weigh in and I make sure that any questions they have that I know that I'll have the answer to it right away.
Mhm.
And I also pinpoint any common, trending problems that usually come up on coaching calls. I always try to have them, in the back of my mind and ready so I can be prepared to respond,
Mhm.
and make sure that I can help them with it throughout.
Right. So here, and then this is now again, this is where a lot of trainers get stuck. And this is for something I personally struggled with even when I was transitioning from 9 round and trying to create things on my own. I would have actual clients tell me this. I was charging too low because I got into the business of just wanting to help them. I would train the kids because I was boxing coach, and that was my goal, was to open up a youth center. So, and again, I didn't necessarily want to have to do it full time. I was still teaching, educating, books, all that. So I was kind of working two industries. Where do you get to a point where you can start charging based on your results, your over delivery? How does that process go to where now you left the gym, you got to eat what you kill, you can't depend on the gym to get you traffic, so you're gonna have to charge more per session and all that. Where are you able to, how can you kind of help people go through that process and things like that?
Yeah, I found the best way to do this is after you can get at least, I'd say, anywhere from minimum, obviously one, but anywhere from 1 to 3, solid results or solid transformations, whether it's their
Like,
testimonial video or progress pics or both. Ideally, I would say both for at least 1 to 3 clients. I
mhm.
would for sure say 3 clients. If they have amazing results with their progress pics and their testimonial video, and you can just hear their confidence, hear their just satisfaction in the video with their tonality, what they're saying, how they're saying it. That's going to help tremendously in your confidence then to
Mhm.
realize, man, I knew my stuff worked, but this stuff really works
Wow.
because this is proof.
I
And
never
then
thought
with
of that.
that, I can use that and my confidence and the proof together
Wow.
to justify charging higher because I know it works.
That just helped. You just helped me on that one. I don't know. I don't bet you listeners, but you helped me on. I'd never actually thought about that, because you're right. When the actual client gets results, you as the person that trained them, you're starting to get the confidence that you didn't even know you had, because they let me in. They let you in on their divorce. They let you in with their kids. They let you in with all their personal stories. And for them to give you that, okay, now you know you can go on and help somebody else. That's a solid point, man. I received that myself. It's awesome. That is,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So, what's like? How do you see this thing next? I mean, is your plan to open up your own gym, or is your plan to just keep training clients? Because that's always been the kind of the crossroads whenever it comes to fitness. Me personally, I went into the speaking route and becoming a thought leader. So, what's next for you?
Nice. Definitely. That's a great question. So what I'm doing right now, just I'm going to keep continuing my training, helping people online just transform their overall minds and their bodies both in the process. And then from there, I eventually do want to open up, a gym with a supplement line and a workout gear, and then
Mm.
have a fitness center, of course, with it. So that's definitely my long-term goal in the next few years. But
Okay.
definitely for now, just keep training people, keep transforming people, and helping people along the way.
So with the supplement line though, being in the industry, I'm sure you get approached probably daily about new supplement brands,
Yeah.
whether it's Advocate, whether it's Amway, whether it's this one, that one. There's so many of them. How do you filter all that stuff out? How do you filter out the third parties? Because I'm sure again, clients might come to you and ask you, hey, should I take this? Should I take that? What's your process towards filtering all that out?
Yeah, I would say, because even though I don't have supplements right now, I would say the best thing you can do, honestly, to get to the right supplements for the time being until I launch my own, I would say the best thing you can do is look for organic, non-GMO, and also just ones that don't have all these artificial colors, preservatives, ingredients that they'll pump in, not just to our foods and drinks, but literally to our supplements.
Okay.
Because for like a multivitamin, for example,
Mhm.
yes, it's supposed to be healthy, but the problem is with multivitamins and other vitamins, they're usually riddled with a lot of, artificial colors in them. And it's crazy what they'll just put in our vitamins. It's nuts. So
Right.
looking for all natural, organic
Mhm.
vitamins and vitamins that are either, uh, preferably capsule, no, not capsule, tablet or gummy form. Those are the best ways to take vitamins because it will actually absorb the best and absorb the most. So
Oh,
looking for those for max absorption, and then also looking for ones that are all natural and organic. I found that to be the very best way to do it because it doesn't have all those artificial fillers, all those artificial ingredients pumped in there.
now
So
these
that's definitely the best way.
are these available exclusively at a grocery at a Whole Foods or is it a grocery store? How do people find those things? Because what I found too is again, it's easier affordability. Look, things go cheap. If something's affordable to someone is there, they know about it, they'll pay for it. So where do they find those kinds of things?
Yeah, 100%. So I found the best way to do it. If you like Amazon, Amazon's always a good go-to. Always a
Jeff
good
Bezos
go-to.
is
You're probably
making
waiting for
the
that.
damn world, man. We've been talking about 30 minutes. Jeff Bezos and it's probably made about 100 sales in the past 30 minutes. I'm telling you. They just got it
Yes,
on Amazon. I'm telling you. Anyway, go ahead because
they
I,
do.
I teach too. So, I go to school and I see boxes of Amazon stuff over and it doesn't matter where it is. Jeff Bezos is winning, man.
I
So
swear, I swear. But yeah, Amazon always a good go-to. And then
right.
beyond that, I would definitely have to say that literally Whole Foods, stores like Whole Foods. And
Mhm.
then there's also the vitamin shop. Not every state has it, but the vitamin shop can also be a great natural
Mhm.
store specifically for vitamins, obviously.
Right.
But those are really great ways to go about it. Also, if you live near a Ralph's, if you're in California, or if you live near a Kroger, if you're in the South, that's where a lot of Krogers are. Or
Right.
maybe if you're in Arizona, there's a Safeway. So stores like that have a lot of natural vitamins that you can get that don't have all the extra BS that all these other, conventional stores will try to sell you.
Right.
So that'll definitely help a lot. And I'll be honest, it's crazy, but Walmart, to an extent, has some of these too. Not as widely available. They don't have as many options, but you can find certain vitamins in Walmart that are actually all natural, all organic, all healthy. Like vitamin D3, for example. I found a organic vitamin D3 at Walmart, and I'm like, cool, Walmart stepping it up. So
And
you can find
I'm
some at
glad you made
Walmart.
that point because, again, what I hear a lot of about staying healthy, staying on point, I can't afford it. I don't have the
Oh
money.
yeah,
He just made it clear. You can go to Walmart if you know what you're looking for and if you actually have accessed the right information with the right people. It's available, folks. It's right there for you. You got to be the ones to take advantage of it because no one's going to actually work out for you. But we will do everything in our power to provide you with all the information, but we can't actually get your ass on the damn squat rack for you. You're gonna have to bend and you're gonna have to squat. That was one of the most frustrating things when I actually had to train people is you're sitting there telling me I'm telling you what to do, but you're using the excuse and you're talking. So again,
right?
I won't take you I won't take you down that road. It's been nothing but a positive interview today. With all that though, please tell people how they can get in touch with you. What's the best way of contacting you? All that good stuff.
Definitely. If you want to get in touch with me one-on-one, you can find me at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, or even LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn at Roman Fischer Official. That's my handle across the board. Also, if you want to check out my website, it's romanfischerofficial.com. You can see a lot of my client testimonials, transformations. And also, if you have any fitness goals, you can work with me one-on-one on there, fill out a form, and we can go from there.
Right. And you are, just so we're clear, no, you're located, is it Arkansas, but you work remotely? Like
Yes,
where people can find you? Gotcha.
definitely.
All right. So it's not just Arkansas, but folks, it's remotely. If you're having trouble, and again, I in the industry, I know it's the some people like to work out with a trainer like personally, but again, time constraints, all that kind of stuff. It's important that remotely, and even if you are a trainer listening to this, being remote and having the ability to be remote, that's a very important aspect to your business as well. So, Roman, the final thing I do with all of the guests, the way I close out the shows, is I want you to use your imagination a little bit. Pretend you're the younger Roman, younger version of you, didn't care what you were eating, getting out of shape. I want that guy to pretend that guy came into the Zoom room, give him some words of encouragement, and we'll officially close.
Oh, yeah. I want to say this: motivation gets you going, but consistency keeps you growing.
Woo! Drop the mic officially with that one. All right. Fellow teammates, continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.